What's up, y'all? This is Throwing Light. I'm LTJ Reeves, and if you're not throwing light, you're not acting right. Boop you. I've got Briar Wood here, one of the, I guess, well-known bootblacks that I know.
Mhm.
Um, hey, Briar, what are you doing? Are you chilling? Look at that skeleton behind you.
Yeah, it's a skeleton. I'm
That,
at a friend's house right now, so
oh, this does the skeleton have a name?
Fred.
Fred. I think every skeleton's name is Fred. All right, Briar. So I am very excited. I'm so glad I was able to reach out to you. And we scheduled this interview before the panel, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you were already going to be on the show before this. So that was just beautiful that you would be a part of that. Before we get to all that, Briar, let's go ahead. Let's get to it. You know, you've been
Mhm.
around this community, servicing this community for a while now. Why don't we go back to the beginning and you kind of tell us what got you involved?
Okay. Um, I moved to Dallas in 2010. I had already been dipping my toes in the community online um, for a few years before that, and then when I got to Texas, um, in one of the chat rooms, somebody led me into FetLife.
Yeah.
There I went. And I think FetLife is great for certain things and not so great for others. But that's how I was able to find connections and community and try to figure out where I was going to fit in. And at the very beginning, when Sanctuary was around, and I just put my foot in really deep and decided I'm going to step in there and see what happens. So I really started out in the BDSM area, always looking at the leather scene, always wanting to be a part of the leather scene, not sure how to get in there. But and through all of that, I was a member of Subhaven, which was a really powerful group of submissive identified people, and we came together monthly and we talked about challenges, issues, how to stay safe, um, you know things about like, let's call somebody when we get somewhere, let's make sure that we've landed and we're okay and we're doing good, and how to check up on people. But I was a member of that and started running it with another gal for a few years, and then my leather journey had just kind of like taken off. I got in with NLA and then was able to hit the bars where I felt a little safer. And the Dallas Eagle, when I started going there, it was funny because they said, you can be here, but you have to be gone by 10 p.m. and let the gays have the bar. And that came from just um, straight cis men.
This was in the 2010s.
Yeah, that was about, yeah, definitely. Yeah, 2011, 2012 is when I started frequenting the Dallas Eagle, the old one that Jeffrey Payne had. And he made it very abundantly clear that everyone was welcome in his bar from open to close. Um, and I thought that that was really special. And then somehow got into this bootblacking thing, and it had been something that I had done. I was married to military, so part of my service at that point was I got to do all the boots and his boots and all of his friends' boots, and it was just something I did and I really enjoyed. And it was actually my best friend at the time. She was doing somebody's boots, and I just like glued in. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? I know how to do this. And that was my epiphany moment of I have found my place. I have
Yeah.
found I fit and where I can serve the community. And um, I got hired at the Eagle to work every month, and got talked into running for a contest, just get your feet wet kind of thing. So I ran for South Central Community Bootblack and somehow walked out of there winning that title. And going into it, realizing I didn't realize what was after that. I had no idea that there was another contest in 6 months. So the rest is kind of history. I ran for that title and I somehow won that as well. And
And we're talking
then,
about international bootblack, right?
yeah, international community. Yep.
So were you surprised that you had gone from just like a curiosity that led to a passion, and then all of a sudden you decided to go and be a leader, you know?
Well, I don't really even see myself as a leader. I know that that's just my own inhibition speaking. Um, I try to lead by example. I don't tell people what to do necessarily that I'm not willing to do my own self. I feel leaders are ones that just get in there and roll up their sleeves and work alongside of everyone else. Um, yeah, I didn't realize that this is where I was going to end up, but I'm not mad about it.
Mhm.
I feel very loved and welcomed in pretty much every community. Um, and even like IML, that was a dream from the first time I ever knew anything about Leslie Anderson was to be a part of that team. And the very first time I met Leslie, I blurted it out like, I want to be part of your team.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's a really long list. You're going to have to wait some time. And I did. And thankfully this will be my 6th year going into it next year. And
That's awesome. You said so there's a long list of people that were wanting to do this.
there still is. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had some time, as everyone. Briar was a part of the very first Throwing Light Tour panel in Dallas this past September 20th, and you helped us work on, community challenges. We talked about that, and having you on the show, we have to talk about challenges because I'm sure you've been through them.
There's a couple.
Yeah, just a two, just one. Uh, Not that many. Um, I am hearing that you have been accepted in this community, and that you can go places and feel comfortable.
Hmm.
Do you feel like everyone's treated like you though?
No.
Okay, so you would say that you've kind of earned a little bit of recognition in the community to be respected, to be in spaces that maybe might not be traditionally open to other people.
As long as the people that I have um, been in front of are there. If it's a crowd of people that don't know who I am, then no, not so much. Um, yeah, going to different states and different Eagles is not the same as coming to the Dallas Eagle whatsoever. Um,
When you're at other places, I mean, what's your experience like?
um,
You don't have to be specific with this, but just a general.
mhm. In general, like I go to another Eagle bar and I'll stand at the bar if I don't know anybody and to order a drink, and it will take a good while to get waited on while they're attending to other men all the way around me. It's a little frustrating. Um, there's a lot of bars out there that only advertise male photography. So if I go researching, I wonder if I can get into this bar and what's it like. I will actually make a phone call and say, hey, all of your photos only have men or they're female bodied people that are allowed in your bar. Oh, yes, of course, of course. I said, well, your advertising should display that then. We shouldn't have to wonder. We should always feel welcome. And these are just separate conversations I have with whomever is on the phone, hoping something will be heard and something could potentially get the wheels turning in some change. Um,
I think that on the panel, like I think by being on the panel and actually magnifying what you're saying, I think this is going to be really helpful because
mhm,
I 100% agree with you.
mhm.
It doesn't seem like a lot. It doesn't seem like much. And when you mentioned having content on the TVs for everybody, I'm just like, I realize that our way forward, unfortunately, is pushing our business owners to change. And
Absolutely.
that's really where this all lies in. Because you can put posters of women or trans people up in your bar. It really doesn't. The thing is that they're so scared that men are going to stop coming. Like, you
Hmm.
do things that make people used to it. If you put the stuff in the bar, they're going to pass that and get used to it. It's not going to be a big deal because, hey, okay, this is here.
Hmm.
But that segregation, I think, perpetuates and keeps this like almost like we're men, we're better than you, or we're this is our. It's the
Hmm.
opposite of inclusive.
Yeah, it is.
Um, I mean, like let's talk about like how hard. It's a really like I'm ready to lead the charge on this right now because it just seems like a simple thing. Like, and we discussed, like, gay men saying that women bodies are gross and,
Hmm.
treating them like that. It just, where does this come from?
That's a really
Sorry, I sneezed.
that's a great question. I'm not sure where all of that comes
Where
from.
do you think this stems from?
Um, in my opinion, I feel that this could be coming just from the older generation. This is how it is. This is how it was. This is how we want it to continue to be. The fear of shifting, because I know since I've been in the Dallas community over the last few years, I have personally seen a shift where it's starting to feel more queer. I'm hearing more men are identifying as queer or bi, which was not the thing back in 2010, 2011. It was gay male spaces, period. Lesbians over here, and we're going to just keep everything separate. While I am a huge supporter of men deserve to have their own spaces, I'm also a huge supporter of women deserve the same. We just don't have that that's attainable anymore that I'm aware of, that it's only for females.
I mean, a lot of cities have freaking 12 gay bars and
Hmm.
one or none lesbian bars.
Hmm.
And again, you make the product, the people will show up, right?
Correct.
The business owners don't think like that. They say, well, we need to have the demand for it. And I'm like, you're setting the leather culture by your businesses and what they are. You make the leather for the women, you put them in the stores, and they're going to come by. They're going to be so grateful that
Hmm.
you're thinking of them, and they're going to come spend their money at your store.
Yep.
It's
And
I
there's,
wish I was a business owner and I could do this and show everybody. You know what
hmm,
I'm saying? Because I am, as a title holder and as now a leader and having sponsors that are leather makers and leather owners, I
hmm,
too now am in a position where I'm like, well, do I meet with them privately and talk about this? Like, because I had mentioned it
hmm.
in the past. And what I got back was, we don't have the demand for it.
You
And,
don't think
and I'm like, who are you asking? That's
any,
the first thing.
hmm. Yeah, I don't think there is not one vendor that I'm aware of that makes leather for female bodies. I can go into any place and try on a pair of pants and they fit me everywhere with the exception of my hips. There's no bar vest out there unless we get one made specifically for us. And I don't even feel that that has progressed any as far as I want to put a vest on and I want to feel it fit me. But either they're too big and clunky, they're just not made, for a female's body with tits. Just doesn't, can I say that?
What
um,
I'm throwing light.
okay. But there is nothing out there. I mean, even like all of the cop shirts and all of that, none of that stuff fits boobs. And I don't know. I can scream it from the mountaintops, but it hasn't changed since
Yeah, I
day.
got the same problems. I got big hips and I got big boobs too. So I've gotten stuck in a few leather shirts.
Yeah.
So I feel your problem. Look,
Yeah.
Briar got stuck in a shirt. for 30 minutes. I almost called 911. And I was like, how am I going to get to explain to the police and what is going on? Because I was like, I thought they were going to have to get scissors to cut me out of it. It
Oh,
took a lot of breathing and it just, and I was so exhausted. I was so exhausted. I had to lay on the floor. And
oh,
I will not, baby, look. I don't, this ain't t-shirts. I don't play anymore. You ain't gonna catch me in a small and leather or a large. And a t-shirt, yes, but leather, make that stuff comfortable because I will not get stuck like that again. That was a nightmare.
right. I couldn't even imagine not being able to get out of it, but
Oh my God. And
oh,
I was stuck like this
geez.
over my head and I couldn't see anything. It was bad.
I'm so sorry that happened to you. That's so
I was at MIL, I ran over to Sir Rat and I was like, I need a leather formal. And I tried on like just a large and they're like, oh, that's fine. So they're like, here, you take it. So I got it, I put it on and I could not get it through my arm. So like I have to get, so either now I either get the sleeves cut off on my leather because I don't really like the sleeves anyway, or they have to get customed.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they can't make leather to fit every single body. I understand that, but to have just a few pieces, something with a little bit wider hips or an athletic cut would be great.
The thing is, you can go in there and you can go and they can order you what you want to if they see that, oh, well, you got this, and they can order it. I mean, they get their leather wholesale,
Yeah,
these
yeah.
stores. You can be like, hey, we had a bunch of women come in and said they like our leather best. Can you get us 100 more?
That would be nice.
I mean, I'm saying like, I'm like at this. Okay, you don't want to put in a full rack, or you don't want to buy all of this because you're scared of
Hmm.
the investment. Okay, put a couple of garments and be like, hey, we have this for women. Ask the front if you're interested. Okay, you're interested. All right, you need a large in this. All right, okay, cool. Let me get you your price. It's being shipped.
Yeah,
Like that's a start.
absolutely. 100% would be a great
I'll
start.
create a catalog.
Yeah, because I can guarantee you, if there was a vendor that had garments that fit females or made for females, the word would get around real fast.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, because there's not any of that, and it's everything is fitting.
We're dealing with misogyny here too. I think also society, like the value of two men together and the value of two women, the income level of gay men, they're like, oh, they got money.
Oh,
That is a lot what it boils down to. A lot of
yeah.
the times is that stereotypically gay men tend to be wealthier.
Yep.
Um, and it's not necessary. It's not the woman's fault. I mean, look, my mom found out towards the end of her, 30 years at General Motors that she was being paid less because she was a woman and a person of color on the same board doing the same job. So some of this is that some of this is wage inequality. This
Hmm.
that's a woman issue across the board. It doesn't matter what party, what political party, what race you are. Women are not paid like men.
Hmm.
So that's not a woman problem because they're doing the same work.
Hmm.
That's a man problem, creating these imaginary issues and creating this disparaging to basically say, well, you're not man, you're not quite man, so we're not going to pay you and respect you for man's work.
That's so awful. That's
No
just not.
one, so like there is some company, there are some big right now in this moment paying a woman less for
Mhm.
and giving the man more, and the woman might even work harder.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, that's not fair, and I don't know with the current uh, political climate if that is ever planning to ever change.
Look, right? Look, yeah. Like in terms of women progressing, that's not going to happen right now. But they're just fundamentally things that are part of our community that are from the larger community as whole, as the larger United
Mhm.
States, that requires a bigger dialogue. But the thing
Yeah.
is that our own lack of knowledge within our community, the lack of awareness of the
Mhm.
struggles of others, but the changes that men don't even think to include sometimes, and they aren't thinking, oh, I want to make this woman feel good, I'm going to treat her equally, she's going to get paid well. Like you have women going into, like, let's take the oil field business for a second, where they
Hmm.
have to basically act like a man to
Hmm.
get business done, or either they have to dress a certain way, but these men don't respect them in the same way. But I've seen tons of, women in these roles where they've got to court a bunch of men out to make a business deal. So they take them to Hooters, they take them to this and that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
To
yeah, I've
please
seen it.
them. And you're, as a woman, this is where it gets tricky, because it's like, think about how many women what we lose in the fight for women are the women that pander to men. And they're like, okay, we are second in command. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You have and religion has a lot to do with that, and trying to create these, like, this caste system. If you are not familiar with the caste system, y'all, please go to take a religious studies class. Go CASTE system. Go look at that. Um, the hierarchy of everything.
Mhm.
So it just seems like you have, like, and you just have man and all these different types of men, and then you get to women. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you're even at this point where if a gay man can pass as a straight person, well, then they've got an advantage over women too.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, like, men are gonna say some ignorant stuff. But if you're okay with their ignorance and accept their ignorance, then they accept you. So it's like, oh yeah, I would never be friends with a fag, but you're cool. Yeah, we're friends. I got me a gay buddy. He's not like all the other queers, right?
Right. Right. For sure.
So, this is kind of like put up or shut up in this moment of history right now for us. And a lot of people are not putting up.
No.
They're
No.
talking, and then some people are talking that need to shut up because they have no interest in unity whatsoever.
Hmm.
We are in a climate of divide, divide, divide. And trying to go on a unity tour, a together tour, Briar, right now,
Yeah, it's a hard one. I don't. Good for
it
you
is
though.
a overly ambitious
Hmm.
task. But even though I want to be cremated and I want my ashes given to Fergie after I die, um, if I had a tombstone,
Hmm.
it would say, at least he tried. And
Yeah.
that's really on my tombstone. He tried, period. Because I did, and I am. And I just can't, if by some divine inspiration has given me the ability to see through the bullshit, do I sit there and watch the bullshit and just go? It's like we're on the Titanic right now. Let me tell you something. I'm not, I'm not the band. We're not gonna play to the boat go down. No, I'm gonna take these fools and I'll make a raft out of them. That's what I'm gonna do. Like, it's survival. And we're on a boat, but I will be damned if I let this country drag me down as a human being. Does that make sense? My
Hmm.
mom said, never follow anyone off the cliff. And I say, you know what? You don't have to go off a cliff even when the world does. You don't have, you're here. You might have to experience all the trauma and the chaos, but you have a choice.
Hmm.
We all have choices. And
Right.
men don't understand that their choices affect other people. They can't get outside of their heads. And
Right.
society was built on this lie that men are the superior gender and women are the inferior gender. It's a fabricated choice.
Hmm.
Like, we are constantly, people are choosing to fight than to choosing to compete rather than to unite. And we have to go back to the beginning of human history and to understand where we got off wrong. And it's the fact that for some reason, two things that don't look alike, they think they need to go at war with each other. So automatically it's like shoot and kill because you're different rather than, oh, well, maybe the Native Americans did that. We see how that turned out for them with the pilgrims. Maybe in some cases, maybe they should have shot arrows at them. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? The way things pan out. But they had bad intentions, obviously, the white men coming over here. So and they played the people. So that energy, that's what I'm talking about. That like, and it's not so much a racial thing as you obviously because you go to different countries where they're no. It's this like power dynamic. It's like this. I mean, the current, I don't even like to invoke this person, but whoever is in the office right now, they invoke this bully, like they're scared of change and difference, and their fear is projected as strength when really they're weak. And to me, there's nothing worse than a weak man that can't hear an opinion.
Mhm.
And if you can't accept opinion, you're just a weak person. People don't understand that survival is not about the physical,
Yep.
but it's about the mental too, because we lose people every day to mental health.
Yep.
And if you can't wake up and stand being a human being, then you have issues. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
What has been the most discriminating thing that you have ever had to face in this community?
Um, I think, and I'm not going to mention where or whom,
Don't have to.
there was a time that I had set up to start my shift bootblacking, and there was a club in the the space that literally blocked off anybody that could get to the stand, um, and made it where I couldn't even do my job, which it was really, it hurt my heart.
Did they say anything to you?
No, not a word, not a word. Um, those same individuals today are like my brothers. I've had people say, these are really, really good, but I really wish you were a guy. Those are the things that hurt. And the bootblacks that come after me are the ones that I talk with. I'm like, don't be me. Don't let that fly. Raise some flags. Come get me. I will raise your flag for you. Because new people coming in and just wanting to be of service and do it in the way that they feel true to themselves, I don't think should be blocked off.
We should
Uh,
not block anybody. And I
no.
say that but why do humans traumatize each other? Why? They don't understand hurt. I don't think people are constantly hurt and they don't understand that. And hurt people.
Hmm.
And we are a community that's been hurt. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Um, and for some reason, we can't get out of that. Before I get to the last question, I want to say to you, in recent events, a former IMO brother of mine who did not make top 20, he is still struggling with that. And we are now going into the second, like 2 years since IMO.
Hmm.
Um, feels like a has been, feels neglected. It's not true because I have reached out to this person, and after we after they announced top 20, I did not make top 20, and we went back to the backstage. He lashed out at me, so I left. I didn't even I should have stayed to support my, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to be someone's punching bag, and I didn't make it either,
Hmm.
and um what I'm getting at is that the favoritism in the community, that sometimes it's not like sometimes I feel like we're picking the same people to be. It's like, oh, we need a woman. Well, let's use this person. Like
Yep.
it's the same person. You get what I'm saying? I
Yep.
did international tour. If you're the winner of an international contest, you're traveling all over the place. And yes, people are going to want you everywhere. But when that's over, I do feel, and that we should be putting people on their panels that are actively doing the work. And if there's someone that made top 20 that's actively got a platform, more power to you. But just got someone because they scored 11th place and you don't know what they do, that's the issue here. And that's a spot that can go to a woman. That's a spot that can go to a trans person that's actively doing something. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't need to be a panel of everyone has a sash. It does
Right.
not. I think that's great, but we are leaning into aesthetics a little bit more than we should be, and not the substance.
Yeah, and I'm seeing that more and more that even every judging panel is nothing but internationals. And I'm like, well, it's all fine and dandy, but you're going to bring a bunch of internationals to judge like a bar title. In my opinion, that's wasting international time where there could be more work done. And let's work on the people who are in your community and have stepped up and have been working behind the scenes. And let's pull them up. They have opinions as well. They see everything that's gone on. You're bringing somebody from out of state. They have no idea of this person's background. And maybe that's the thing that's happening is too many people here know what's going on. We need to get outside people. I'm not quite sure. Um,
Bro, let me tell you, if I was the president, they would have assassinated me because I've been on the steamrolled all this change by now. They got to get rid of him.
yeah. Um,
Everything is like, let's go. Let's go. Let's fucking go, man. Let's
yeah,
do this. It's not that hard.
it really isn't. And it's just going to take, I don't really know what it's going to take, but I'd like to see that your tour, and what I'm kind of lovingly saying is tread harder on me, is what you're doing, is you're treading harder and you're trying to elicit change. And you're doing it in a really great and constructive way where everybody is getting heard. And I really, really hope that what you are doing and what you have put in place is going to continue and the movement just keeps going and going, where people aren't sitting in their armchairs and, you know, throwing out bullshit before they've even had a conversation with the person they're throwing bullshit at. I see way too much of secondhand stories getting thrown out there and it's all out of proportion. And I'm not one that gets on Facebook and puts much down. I have taken a stance once,
Time consuming.
and I hate that. I will private message these people who are sitting in their armchairs and say, "Hey, can we talk about this?" If it's even me, I just hate. I would like everybody to play in the sandbox together and play nicely. And I know that's not really attainable,
Look,
but
playground. It's not just a sandbox. And look, I am not perfect. I'm
mhm,
confrontational. People say I'm intimidating. I cannot work with everybody that's in the community.
same.
That title, learn that. There are people right now I just actively will not work with. And I will tell you, and I will give you my reasoning. And
Hmm.
do whatever you want from that. But there's no drama. This is look, if you can work with this person,
Yep.
go right ahead. I'm not trying to discourage you, but I'm telling you what I will not tolerate. And this
Absolutely. Hmm.
so I'm not gonna blast somebody on Facebook. You gotta piss me off. You gotta piss me off. And then if I tag your name, that's annihilation. So I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's I beg people to not push me to that. But I control myself as much because I understand that people watch me and how I act and how I behave. But I am a very imperfect person.
Hmm.
I do things do get to me and I do have my ups and downs.
Hmm. Everybody does.
Yeah,
You're
I'm a human
one.
being and, and we and it's not just about age and getting older, but we got our limits. And there's only so much I can take of another human being. And one thing I cannot take is other humans judging me. Like, I'm like, you can take that somewhere else because I don't care what you have to think.
Hmm.
You're not going to play God. Like, don't tell me that my life is somehow not worthy of your life because I'm not doing something and something you have not even read. I don't have time for this. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I got one last question for you, Briar. Is there any aspect of our community that you feel like we are not shedding enough light on?
The trans community. I don't think we have enough protections for them internally, if that makes sense.
Internal protections. I tell you, you have given me the most ideas this year in 2025.
Oh, yay.
Things from you. I will acknowledge you, of course.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, clearly.
internal protection. This is what we like. I'm like, come on, let's make our own government and three branches of government and do our own thing and
Right.
internal protect. You know what I'm saying? Let's pass this legislation through and let's start internal protections. I love that internal protections.
I mean, it would be nice if we could provide some kind of a safety um, protocol of sorts that if somebody is in trouble, let's get the phone lines going. Let's find a place to get them, hidden away where they're going to be protected and they're going to be taken care of. I feel especially in Texas, that could be really helpful for our trans youth and our trans adults. Um, I just hate that they have to live in fear almost daily.
So my goal is a year from now that this is a peace symbol. You know what I'm saying? It's an idea,
Mhm.
but hopefully this is something that goes, if I see this, I can be here, I can go there. If we need,
Uh,
you know what I'm saying?
yes.
Like again, I'm trying
Hmm.
and like communication, like, because not every trans person is safe with every gay man.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially the new ones.
I don't want to sound like I'm bashing men and gay men, and I kind of am, but I'm a man and I get frustrated at men. I really do, and I get turned off by them daily, more and more so every day. And I'm talking about your traditional man type, where it's like, oh, girls wear pink and boys wear blue.
Blah. That's gross. Yeah.
To me, is one of the most worthless types of humans on earth. When you're that simplified and that stupid,
Hmm.
that you gotta designate a color for a gender. And
Yeah.
I get like we've been raised, but like we are past that. We should not be making any kind of references to a color being gendered at this point. I wear pink. I look good in pink. Lots of
Hmm.
people look good in pink. It's a
I mean, we also have the female bodied people as well who are just as dangerous or, you know, it's not just men. I just kind of want to,
true.
we
You're
have
right.
plenty of consent violators that are female. We have
Yeah,
plenty of females that have
yeah.
just gone off the deep end and mishandled men, even.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
The
I,
man
I,
here, but
But I just think in times when violence is increased, I think it affects men mentally more, especially with violent rhetoric and things like that.
Mhm.
Women know their emotions a lot better. Now, I'm not saying they won't react, but you should see signs if a woman's about to kill you. Um,
Yeah.
it was a buildup. I mean, there will be, if it's an eye twitch or something, she's letting you know you better change what
Yeah.
you.
There's always a sign.
There's a sign, I think, but with men, it can be the stupidest thing. And
Mhm.
so I just want men to want to be educated and stop running away from education. I really do, because a strong
Mhm.
man is a strong mind. A
Absolutely.
strong person is a strong mind. And
Absolutely.
you don't understand that a strong mind leads to even a better body and things like that. So
Yeah.
hey, Briar, well, I love this interview so much. I cannot wait to share this interview. It's going to be so good because you gave me so much stuff. Okay. Oh,
Awesome.
what left to do? You got to close the show.
I do.
So I'm going to count to three, and you're going to say if you're not throwing light, you're not acting right.
All right.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
One, two, three.
If you're not throwing light, you're not acting right.
There we go. He hit that. Woo, home run. There's the home run. Brian, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
I absolutely love this interview. I can't wait for everybody to see it.
All
For
right.
watching, this has been another episode of Throwing Light, and we'll see you next time.